What's up, guys? I hope everyone's having a wonderful morning. Let's get this day started. We have about 4 minutes till market open. Let's just do a quick little review, right? So right now, obviously, we've been inside those key levels, right? Bouncing back and forth. Nice little range bound situation. Let's see if we can break out of that. Early morning, I did take a little trade at around 8 o'clock because I saw, okay, we bounced off of this key level. We have the potential to go right back up. So I just wanted to catch a quick scalp, just took one contract, just testing it out. Got a nice little, 3 points on that. Good morning, Sergio. Good morning, Mandich. How are you guys? Glad to hear you're ready, man. Morning, Enzo. But yeah, guys, right now we are inside that range bound situation. We have been for the hourly charts as well. We've kind of just been bouncing back and forth between our levels. And something we do have to note is that those stimulus talks are projecting to be not happen until after the election now. So the market is going to be a little bit weaker. And we just look at our key levels on the hourly charts, right? Hourly charts right here on the ES pretty much just bounced off of our levels, and we're doing the same thing, just chopping back and forth. So once we can find a nice move to the long side, that would be very nice. But who knows, if we break through this again, we're testing it for a third time soon, right? Or fourth time, actually. We was test 1, test 2, test 3. Fourth test, we might end up breaking down. So something to be careful of. And that level is at 34.22. We'll see how it wants to play out. This market definitely is something that I'm not a fan of. Good morning, Dragon. Let's see how we react to market open. We'll keep an eye out on crude oil today as well, just to see if we can catch a nice move on that. I do see a sell setup forming at the moment, so let's see. Let's see, because if we push, we can push right back down to our key level, right? Because we pretty much just bounced off of this key level right here. It's going back and forth. That's your cue to stop trading. Okay. I mean, we'll see how it reacts. Like the sell setup kind of just disappeared right now, so we'll see. Just got to give it some time. Got to be patient. That's the biggest part, right? Just sitting here every day and just watching it make its moves. You dive in the ocean. Okay. I mean, you said you were just starting out and everything and practicing, so it's like always take your time with that. Don't try to rush into anything. Do what's comfortable with you first and then start experimenting after that. Definitely keeping an eye out on those hourly charts today just because we've been just going back and forth in the hourlies as well. So we'll see how we want to play it out today. At the moment, I'm still short biased, so I do want to see a nice short setup. But again, if market wants to go up, we'll just try to find a move to the upside. His delta is pushing up nicely. Talk about a little bit of news. Something to pay attention to what the market is. Mortgage demand from home buyers falls for the fourth straight week. And we've seen that, hey, like people have been buying up houses like crazy. And to see that, hey, the demand for mortgages has been dropping, that means people and their fear is coming back. Netflix shares fall after earnings miss. It is earnings season, so be careful. And what else do we have going on? Well, that's interesting. I might have to look into JP Morgan a little bit more because JP Morgan Chase takes on Square and PayPal with smartphone card reader faster deposits for merchants. So they're going to take a good amount of market share then. I mean, let's see if we want to play with this key level again right here at 34.39 and then bounce right back down. That would be super awesome. I would love to play that. Price should struggle right around that 34.40 on the ES. So we're going to see what happens. It's starting to pull back already a little bit. So let's see. Okay, we're seeing some buyers trying to hold. Interesting. This area really should be something that we should be watching out for. Okay, we're breaking through that pretty strong. Okay. Interesting. I was expecting a bit more resistance there, especially with having the 200 EMA and our key level there, right? That is definitely interesting. Let me check on the VIX real quick, just to understand what the fear is looking like. Ah, the VIX is starting to come down a little bit. Been rising for sure over the past couple of days, but today it does seem like it's dropping a little bit, so buyers might step in. Interesting. I think Tesla popped off, right, today, guys? I was hearing a lot of news about it last night. Check what the time. Tesla is just ripping up right now. Cool to see. I'm really shook by how much this is pushing right now. But we just got to that key level. Let's see, can we break it? Because if we can find a reversal here, that would be super nice. Let's see, let's see. I really am debating just like taking a short right here at that key level, but the way it just pumped up is kind of, it's not normal. Next key level is going to be at 34.74, but we should see some resistance here at least. Or halfway through. Around 34.47, 34.57, I'm sorry. If it does want to break through this, 34.57 should be where we find some new resistance. I'm really tempted to get short right here. But I just want to wait for some type of confirmation. A nice seller stepping in or anything. Whenever we have a pump up out of nowhere, we do have to get it to push down. So just waiting. What's up, Chuck? Let's do this. Let's see. Really looking for a nice bounce off that key level. Like, that's all I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at the 1 minute charts to maybe see a little bit of an indication. Still pushing up at the moment. Right through. Okay. Yeah, Chuck, I took one trade in the pre-market like around 8 o'clock. I saw a nice little scalp move that I got. I just took around 150 right here to here. I saw it bounced off our key level. I knew it had room because all it was doing was just going back and forth today in the overnight, just bouncing off our key level. So I knew I could catch those 3 points pretty quickly. So I got in, caught it, and then just waiting for my next move now. Let's see. Let's see. You have the volume orders on the right side of the dome. How do you know if those orders are they're piling up on the shorts or the longs? Well, if you have that on the side, right, the main thing you're looking at in the dome is the amount of orders, like physically on the dome itself, that are floating or sitting, right? So after some time of just like watching that on the side, you will pick up on things like unusual order amounts. Normally, anything over 500, there's a good amount of pressure coming in where people do want to get long or people do want to get short. That's like the easiest way to put it. Anything over 500, that you don't really have that many floating orders like that. Not those. Okay. Oh, it shows a histogram. I mean, the histogram is you're just mainly trying to understand where the most amount of like volume was at that price. You're not looking for buyers or sellers in the histogram. You're just looking for understanding the price. This histogram right here is on the dome. I don't know why it's on the dome. Let me check settings. Okay, go on dome, click on the settings. Okay, I'm on the settings. The other settings. Oh yeah, the no, that's the brackets. This This one right here, right? That's all the way at the top, that gear icon, Enzo. That's the only one I have. View settings. Oh, show histogram. Okay, got it. Yeah, I don't normally use that too much. I think I know what you're talking about now. I don't think you guys can see it actually. Let's see, my screen is zoomed in just a little bit, so is there a way for me to move this? Okay, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Again, so that histogram that you see on the dome is the same histogram that you see on the chart right here. It's literally just telling you how many contracts were traded at that price. It's not really meant for telling you like, hey, the buyers were here, the sellers were here. It's more about understanding where the most amount of people were going back and forth or where the price was for that day. Because you'll notice, like, if you have it side by side, you'll see that price at like 34, 48, 75. There's like 7,000 orders or whatnot, 7,000 contracts traded. So let's go to 34.48, right? Right there. You see that little volume node right there. If we go all the way down, we should up to like 34.36. You'll see like 9,000 orders and whatnot, etc. and etc. So it's literally the same exact thing. I just like having it on the chart rather than the dome. Why is this not going down? Chuck, you got a long alert on that green bar? You missed it? Oh, okay. Okay, man, you'll always find another move. Not to worry about that. I really want to see what happens at 34.57, guys. Like, that's where we bounced off twice before. So we'll see how it goes. Some orders piling up, not too many. Let's see. See. Yeah, that's true. What goes up must come down. That is always true with the market. So let's just see what happens. The only thing that's benefiting this at the moment is that the fact that the VIX has been dropping. That means the fear is going away, at least today, right? So remember, VIX and the futures markets are always inverse. Like the ES and the VIX and NQ always inverse. So let's see how it plays out. I still think that 34.57 would be a pretty much a area to test. We're very close to it, around that area as well. We bounced off pretty heavy last time as well, right here, right at 34.57.50. Same thing happened here. That's where tested again, 34.58. We go back more. Yikes, happened. It's 34.57. 34.57 is where one it bounced straight right down right here, act as support here. So it's a very key area just by price. Good morning, Mustafa. If price is jumping around a lot, Chuck, then I would definitely suggest just putting those limit orders in. That way you can get in right at the price that you want to. With ES and NQ, since they're so liquid, even if we put a stop order, we're getting in at that same price or one tick difference, right? So it doesn't really matter too much, especially if we're going for big moves. But if you're saying it's just jumping around a lot and there's a lot of big spread, then definitely I would just use limit orders. I'm really trying to see if it can get up to that 34.57 today at all. Because we might reject before it. That can happen. We get similar alerts? Okay. I mean, I have to check it out on corn. I'm pretty sure. Like, the algo works on all markets regardless. You just have to figure out, sometimes it's just what time frames you're trading in. I can pull up a chart of corn. Let's see. Five-minute corn. I mean, yeah, there's been a good amount of alerts on the 5-minute corn. Definitely don't suggest ever trading like the overnight, but seeing the morning sessions, let me look at it. There's good alerts, actually. Very nice alerts now that I'm looking at it. Definitely need to do some more practice with it, but there are some very nice alerts that come up pretty much right at the open and it just rips through. Corn seems to have that tendency. Maybe it's just the trending market right now. I'll have to definitely go back a lot more, test things out. You only had one loss? That's good, man. Okay, so we are approaching right back up to that 34.55. Let's see if we can get to that 57. I really want to see what happens at 57 today. Is we could just end up, if we don't break through the 57 properly, then we could see another just push right back down. Now, 30 trades is not the biggest sample size, but because it depends on what you're doing, especially if you're doing the 5-minute charts, then I highly suggest doing a lot more. Go back, like whenever I backtest something, I'll minimum sample size is 200 trades for me. But then after that, I kind of just like to do it for the whole year and test everything out. It takes some time, but it definitely makes it worthwhile because if you're putting your real money into it, then you want to make sure it's secured. 1 second, guys. No, I don't test back test with the strategy tester. One reason is because when you're using the Heikinashi, the strategy tester does not work out as well. So I literally sit there doing it manually. And I record every single trade that I backtest on an Excel sheet. It does take me some time. That's why I listen to my instrumental stuff then, like the Epic Film Scores playlist on Spotify. I just get in my zone and then I'm just at it for a couple hours. And I think doing it manually helps us understand the market better as well. Is the strategy tester on like TradingView or any like there's always like things where they mess up here and there, or if you use specific things like it won't really pick up on it. So it's like to have all that, I think manual is always the best. As long as you record everything. I record everything on the Excel sheet. That's why even in the Discord, there's the Excel sheet that has like data for 4 years from the algo's like results, because that's what I use and that's what I do. Is I sit there and test everything out to make sure everything's working. Still haven't gotten to that 57, did we? Nope. Missed it by like 2 ticks. Delta is definitely coming down a little bit. That's interesting. You might see a nice little flip, right? As we wait, if you guys could, please do hit that like button. And if you're new, please do subscribe. We're live every morning. It really does help me grow that channel that I'm trying to get to. Next goal is to get to that 200 subscriber mark. I know we can get there. And those likes definitely help me put my message out there more. So I'd really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. So we are getting a little bit weaker, right? Candle size is dropping. I see a bit more seller orders on the dome, just a little bit, nothing crazy. Yeah, we've been slowly getting more subscribers and I'm super excited about that. Oh, we're getting a little bit of a push. Okay. At 34.57. I'm really just waiting to see what happens there. See how this candle closes. If it wants to close double top, that'll be interesting because that's super close to that. Still 2 ticks away from 34.57. I'm surprised it didn't touch it yet. Or we might, let's see. Hit that 34.57. Let's see, can we get some pressure now? Nice little W pattern, right? Down, make our little curve, right back up. Delta is pushing down, guys. Even though price is pushed up, Delta has been pushing down for the past couple of candles. I still believe that we could potentially go short. I'm just looking to see if we can confirm it and see if we can have some sellers step in or just have a nice Delta bar. That'd be nice as well. That's a little bit of a confirmation for me. But we did really do just bounce off that 34.57 right here, right? 34.57.25. Some buyers popping in at 34.52.50. This is a very interesting area. It's where price reversed and bounced off the most in the past couple of days. So definitely something to pay attention to. We can start reversing a little bit, make that nice move. That's something I do want to get in and catch. Because if it wants to drop, I feel like it's going to drop pretty big today. Tick charts are holding up pretty well. Interesting. If I was gonna short from 34.57, then my target would try to be around 34.38. Feel like that's a nice drop that we could get. Yeah, the stimulus is just gonna be getting delayed, so let's see. I mean, it's kind of interesting that we started pushing up when we heard the stimulus wasn't getting approved. Like, I don't understand how that would make sense because they wanted the stimulus, but hey, they. So let's see. No, their projection for the stimulus is to happen after the election now. That's what they're thinking about. But we also know because like Trump literally said that a couple of weeks ago where he's like, I'm not gonna pass anything until after the elections, so I win. So it's like, dude, you shouldn't be playing with people's lives just for like your victory, right? Because their main thing is giving more money, more funding to the companies, even though the people need the cash so that they can actually survive. Finally, some weakness. Super interesting to see people piling up at 34, 52, 50. Yeah, man, they are rich, so it's like they don't understand like how many people are struggling and how what it feels like for that, right? So it's like it kind of sucks that that's what they're worrying about, giving companies even more money so that they can waste it on stupid stuff. They literally gave it out without having any regulations on it whatsoever, which I was like, that's so stupid. Because anytime we've ever given companies money before, we regulated and made sure it was being used to help, right? But now, literally, he's like, "Oh, I don't want them. I don't want to monitor them. I like that company." I was like, "What? You can't be playing favorites right now." Yeah, man, it is super sad to see that. Let's see. We took out those orders at 34, 52, 50. That's nice. Cool, cool. I like this candle. Nice little delta bar forming. Okay, okay. We might be catching a setup soon. I'll let this candle finish. Nice job, Dragon. Did you try to go for it at right at 34.57, like I was saying before? Okay, so I think they went away now. I don't hear them. Maybe they're coming back. Who knows? But yeah, they're just lawn mowing, trimming, all that stuff. So that noise will come because I sit right by the window. Like window's like literally like less than like a foot away from me. But yeah, to answer that question, I do hedge my positions. And as Sergio said, please don't forget to hit that like button. Definitely does help me out a lot. I apologize for the noise because I thought I hit the mute button, but I guess it didn't click before. And I hear them coming back. So if they do, I will make sure this goes on mute. Let's see right now. I like this candle like as an entry just because of how solid it is. but I really do want to wait to see a little bit more confirmation right here. I wanted to break below that key level because I don't want it to be a play where it just bounces right off. Do I hedge my swings? It depends on how long term they are. For long term positions, I don't mind getting some puts sometimes, but other than that, most of my swing plays last between like 2 to 3 days with when I'm trading the hourly charts. So it's like I don't really need to hedge them because I know what direction they're in, and my algo works for me like pretty much most of the time, right? Not 100%, but very high up there, and I just follow that. And I'm very big on risk management, so it's like I watch my positions and have my stop losses in, so it's like I'm never risking too much. So always in good hands there. 4750 seems to have a lot of orders. But I don't hedge too often. It's only when I'm thinking like there might be like the market just, there might that off chance where things might just go south because of like random news or random events that are happening. But yeah. So yeah, I only day trade futures with the Top Step account, but when I'm swinging, I have to use my own account because they won't allow me to swing trade on the Top Step account unless I do like the micro swing account, which is a whole different type of account. But you're only allowed to have one funded account from them, so it's like can't have both. I do have to use my own account when I'm swinging. I think break below this, we should get a nice little move. Actually, I wanted to break below that. Too many orders piled up there. It is struggling around that 200 EMA on the tick chart as well. That's the only reason I'm just waiting it out. I wanted to break below and then just have a nice push. That huge order is still there for the buyers. That 34, 47.50 still there. It's just gonna pop up and back and forth. The dome only shows me a certain amount of orders. I wish it showed me everything, but fortunately not. But yeah, I think Top Step is a great program, especially when you're getting into the futures market, because obviously gonna mess up in the beginning. So it's nice to practice on their simulator, especially since it gives you all the real-time data as well. So it's not like, oh, you're delayed and you're already reading the chart on the one thing, and it's like you already you're ahead of the game, so you're you're not getting real results. The most ES contracts I've ever traded at once was 4. I don't like to go above 4 at the moment. Because like last year when I was doing 4 contracts, I would just go for 1 point with 4 contracts, quick money. Oh, with the 50K account, you can trade up to 5 contracts. They have a little scaling plan that you can follow. After you hit the 1500, um, after you make them like 1500 of profit, that's when you can go up past 2 contracts, and then after that you can go to 3, and then I think there's another barrier a little bit. I think like another 1,000 you have to make them, and then you get to like trade 4, and then another 500 you get trade 5. Let's see if we can break through these orders. Struggling a lot. Really testing those orders right there. I think I might just have to cancel this order because we are just trying to bouncing off that key level now. It's like holding right above it. Had that so many orders piled up at 34, 47, 50. Couldn't push through them. Yeah, it is like 1 mil trade value, but you're not ever gonna be losing all of that, right? Because especially when you're in these plays, and then top step, like they'll automatically take you out if you ever cross their limit, right? That's why like their risk is measured. That's why you always have to have that risk management plan so that you never break one of their rules either. Really hoping for a nice little flush. Orders are still sitting there. Damn, they really want to be in control. But our tick charts are still headed down. This is interesting. This is a moment of dilemma where do I want to hold this or just cancel it and wait it out? And since the tick charts are still pushing down, I'm gonna hold it just for now. Let's see. I think we're just waiting for a little bit of a push. It would have been nice if we just went for that 57 mark, right? That I said. If I went short there, that would have been nice, smooth, easy 7 points. Thank you for the subscription, man. I appreciate it. Pretty much just bouncing off our key level for the day. Let's see what is happening. It's like a mini bull flag. Pump up, come down. A little bit of a flag. Not too much. I'd like to see a bit more. Yeah, T Flynn, I am on the 50K account. Yep, you still have to abide by that rule of the 1K loss limit. The 1K for daily, 1K for weekly. But that's what makes you really understand risk management, because when you can only lose so much, you know, you have to make sure you follow your rules strictly. I tried to open up another Tradeovate account by myself with my own money just to trade micros with you guys and show you guys on that, but just swing trading those and having those swing plays in place. But I don't know why, but they still haven't gotten back to me. I should probably call them and see what's up. Yeah, so there are days when I've lost like 600, right? But then in that same week, if I had a nice day where it's like, okay, I made 1,000 or more, or like 700, right? When it evens it out, and I have plus positive 200 or so, right? So I'm still in the green, so that risk is still fine. It's not like it what it calculates is your overall like downtrend, right? So it's like drawdown. 1 second. This is just starting to go towards our price. I will come back to your question. I'm just watching this real quick. Not filled. Tieflin, I will come back to your question. Just give me a couple minutes, man. I want to focus on the position that I'm in at the moment. Buyer stepping in at 33.44. Interesting, interesting. Let's see if we can break through them. Would have filled. Got one order filled. Let's see if we can just get that second contract filled. I moved my stop down to break even. I'm trying to see how far we can push that second contract. I kind of just want to get it out of the way. My whole point of the second contract was just to see if it wanted to push deep and just flush, then I would just move it down. But we have some sellers piling up at 34, 46, 25. If we break through that, it's good to have it at break even. I might honestly just move it up to one tick. That way I don't have to even pay for commissions. That covers that. Should be able to push down. I don't see a reason for us not to. Push it down. Let's see. The second contract is just my runner, so let's just see what we're gonna do. I'll put it at 36. I'll put it at that next key level. Let's see if we can drop down there. Some nice selling support piling up at 34.46. So, oh, they disappeared. Hey Jim, can you place your picture webcam to the left? Your comment about 34.57 big buyers makes me want to see your complete dome ladder. Okay. But should be able to see it, right? I think I have to adjust my streaming software for that, so I will do that. Just give me 1 second. Right after this position's done, I will take care of that, and I'll answer your questions and comments as well. I think some buying pressure. I think no, we should be good. We should be good. I want to hold. Let's see. I mean, regardless of what happens, I'm still at break even plus one tick, so I don't have to worry. This is just my runner at the moment. So let's see if we can catch it. Well, let's just go in order. How do I manage my risk when I have like those $400 or $500 losses? Well, one thing I do is if I'm approaching that loss limit, Flynn to my max amount. What I will do, I'll drop my contract sizes down because when I do get those 500, 400, that's because I'm trading 2 contracts, and then everyone has errors, right? But I'll drop the contract down, and then I'll wait for my setups to come because I trust my setup, I trust my algo to give me the right results, and there's going to be some days when I'm like, okay, this is a very volatile day. I don't think I should get in because I might get burned. Those are the days when I just sit on the sidelines and I just have to wait because it's not worth me risking losing trading capital just because I wanted to make one simple trade, right? see what happens here. Let's see how much they want to push down. But going back to Jim's comment, I put my, oh, you want me to put my picture webcam stream to the top left. So the reason I have it at the top right is to cover my account information, because it tells me my account information and all of that at the top. So that's why I keep it there. But your comment about 34, 47, 50 big buyers makes me want to see your complete dome ladder. What I could do is I can just move this dome ladder a bit to the left. That way you can see the full dome ladder, but I kind of have to keep it at the top right, because obviously got to protect your account information. Nice sellers piling up right here, guys. I don't know if you guys can see 1,500 contracts on the selling side from the dome. I could switch it to the left, but I just got so used to trading with the dome on the right. I mean, I'll play around with it today after the stream to see if I like it on the left, but I've always traded with it being on the right side. Yeah, so if you want to watch two charts on TradingView, all you have to do is at the top of TradingView, right next to your settings and your full screen and the picture screenshot button, there should be a block with like four squares on it. It says select layout, and at select layout, you can select whichever layout you want. You can have 4 or 2. There is privacy mode, but every time I have to go in and out, and if I want to like back test sometimes or do anything, it just goes back and forth, and that's the only reason I just have it up, and then I just cover it with my picture. But I'll play around with the settings today after the stream, and I'll see if I can move it to the left or the right, or have it somewhere that way you guys can see the dome completely. I'll mess around with the settings. I'm sure we can figure something out. Gonna let this run. I want to see how much we can get out of it. Definitely try to make it bigger at the moment. I think now you guys should be able to see it, right? I think if I do the buy, make it smaller. Play around with these settings. Move the bid to the left, price to the left, P&L, ask. Does that make it better for you guys? Hitting that key level. Let's see how well we bounce off. I'm just gonna move the stop down even a little bit more. All right, perfect. If this is what you guys wanted to see, then I guess this works out perfectly, right? Let me know, Jim. Does this work for you? Okay, yeah, that I can take care of. I normally scroll up and down with it anyway, so I thought it normally should do it automatically, but I'll play around with the settings today. I don't like the fact that it's like happening like a little bit of a double bottom, but let's see. At that key level. Yeah, no problem, man. I think Chuck, they just wanted to see when I was talking about the dome, like what I look for and what I point to, right? I think that's why they wanted to see it right where I'm on the chart, because I guess before they couldn't see it completely. I mean, I can just make my camera screen a bit tinier, that way it can show more of the dome. Or maybe I'll move it to the right side, we'll see. Or sorry, the left side. I'll play around with the settings today. I really wanted to break right through this. I don't want to get hesitant just because it's like, only thing is like double bottom. Hate double bottoms. Just wanna, let's see what happens, and I'll let the candle close. I'm just gonna start trailing my stop slowly, just so we can just secure some more points if it tries to reverse on us. I will take it out at 34, 36, 25. That is where price kind of just started jumbling around again before, so come on, give me that little push. Yeah, man, just gotta stick to our plan, right? Last week we stuck to our plan. We couldn't find much trades, but this week we have a nice little move going on right now. The ball, it's always about staying consistent. Let's go. Just fill me in, take me out. Let me take a break. Let's go. Come on, yo. I hate it when I know it's gonna hit, but you just gotta wait that extra 2 seconds. I'll move my stop down even more. I don't want it to reverse. I'm just trying to secure as much as possible at this point.
Would have failed.
Took me out. I'm happy. $900 today. I could keep going. I could keep trailing, but I think we will hit some support pretty soon. So that's why I wanted to get out, be happy. Right now it's starting to push back up. Yep. Just a little bit. It's bouncing back and forth. I think we got filled to the tick. Yeah. That's awesome. Your analysis is on point. Perfect. Love seeing that. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. But yeah, T Flynn, I know back to your question when it's like, so when we have days like this when we make 900, but then the next day say we lose like 400 or 500, that's not going to affect our weekly loss limit, right? Because we're still positive. It'll affect our daily loss limit, but not our weekly. So that's why we're always in good hands. But if I ever get close to that weekly, where it's like, oh, I lost 900 in a given day, and then I might just stop trading for that the rest of the week. Just it's like it's not worth it for me to keep trading. I might just watch the markets just to, always have that practice. And which step are you in? I'm funded, Jeff. Yeah, when you get a $500 loss on day one, that is a bad start for sure. But that's when you just drop the contract down and then start playing and just follow your plan and stay consistent, and everything will work out, right? I'm actually super happy it filled me right at the tick. So I'm super excited by that. Well, let's see what happens. I'll stay on for like another 30 minutes or so. We can just talk it out. We can see what else we can find. I will not be getting into another trade today, that's for sure. I'm happy with what we got today, and I'm going to let it be. About capital management now. Once we make the capital, it's about making sure we keep the capital. Now it's starting to push. Let's see. Well, what's our next level again? If we start pushing, we could see a nice little push down to 23. I highly doubt it today. We'll see. But yeah, the main reason I wanted to get out here was this is where price started to chop around before, and I didn't want to get caught up in that. I didn't want to reverse again because, it can find support right here and then pop right back up. And that's one of the reasons I was like, you know what, I'm happy with this. We had got a nice long trade. We had our runner in and we were perfect. And since we were around that key level, always you can expect a bounce somewhere there. So I'm glad we stuck it through, paid attention to the short-term trend in the 500 tick chart. This is the only reason I kept my order in play, just because the short-term trend in the 500 tick chart was still to the downside, or else if it turned positive at any point here, I would have just canceled my order, because that shows like trend inconsistency, and I'm not about that. Let's look at the hourly levels on the ES as well, because those are pretty key at this moment. Yep. So if we take a look at, sorry, take a look at ES on the hourly charts, some hourly chart levels. Obviously, this one, that support level S1, right? We've just been jumping back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So we'll see. Definitely today, I'd say keep an eye out on that 34, 21, 25. Because if we break through that and hold, dude, we might push, just drop down. Yeah, T Flynn, it can pull back to the 200 EMA and then continue, right? Whereas, second, let me pull up my other chart. But yeah, I don't know why I'm trying to pull up that chart when I can just explain it right here. That 200 EMA is right here. So if we do push down, we could see it come back and then pop down. But again, for those EMA reversals, make sure you don't just wait for it to go there, right? Because you have to wait first, let it hit, then form a reversal candle, and then you guys can follow that through. I mean, I'm glad he recovered. That's good for him. But if I was down 2.7K, that's when I would have just called it quits, to be honest. Because to go from 2.7 to 3K plus is, it's a bit of a risk revenge, right? I mean, it depends. Like, I don't want to say anything bad about him. I'm not about that. I never comment on people like that ever. Um, he seems like a chill guy. I always wish him the best. Some people do like to add to their losers, but that's because their plan might be different in the sense that they want to add more and reduce their cost basis. Because there are trading methods where you pretty much add. He doesn't handle comments well. Okay. I mean, I can't do anything about that or say anything about that. But if he's still making money every month, good for him, man. And the main thing is if he's consistently be able to bring in money every month, I'm happy for him. Yeah, if you have an unlimited account, sure, yeah, you can do whatever you want. But if you have an unlimited account, then why are you even trading? Yeah, definitely. Like, I think when you're new, it's very important to limit your risk as much as possible because you're starting out with a low amount of capital and you're trying to build that. When you have a higher amount of capital, sure, you can add to your losers because you think that the position should reverse still. And if your key levels are telling you and the key market direction and analysis is telling you that it still should be going up and you're confident in that, I can understand why you add to your losers and that's completely okay. But when you start adding to your losers too many times, you will end up getting burned. That's why you've never seen me add to my losers. I just wait for the next setup to come. That's like one of the biggest things I've ever learned is wait for my setup to pop up. Like that's it. What's up, Chris? Aw, Jeff, I'm sorry to hear that it took out all your profits, man. Or no, are you short and you're taking your profits right now? If you're taking your profits, I'm happy for you. Oh, that's awesome, man. I'm happy. Love seeing everyone make money. There's more than enough in the market to go around. You're short 5 contracts? Nice. Nice little payday. Wednesday payday. Yeah, Chris, this is definitely the measurement we're talking about. Because like if we're looking at those hourly charts that we were talking about before, we saw that price, topped out. Yeah, I'll pull that chart up, right? Pretty much yesterday, price topped out, started coming back down, hit our support level, pumped right back up in the overnight. Overnight, what happened? Pretty much trying to create double top, triple tops. And then we finally saw a big flush again, tested it right back again, pushed back. Now we're approaching that again. I'm just trying to see what happens here. Like that's why I'm on the stream. Like still, I am not taking any more trades, that's for sure. But I just want to see what happens at our key level of 34.2250, right? Because at that point, because it's tested it once, tested it twice, tested it 3 times, and normally the 4th time, if it hasn't breaking through on the 3rd time, we could see something happen. That's what my analysis is, because like from past experience, I've always seen that, hey, like when it tested that many times, and goes for the 4th test, most times it ends up breaking through. But it's not always guaranteed. Remember that. But nothing is guaranteed in trading. But on my analysis, it seems like it could definitely push. Nice amount of sellers right on the dome as well, right here. They're holding, they're slowly moving their contracts down with them. Yeah, if we trailed this, yeah, we gotta make even more. One of you guys did say for me to just trail it. It's all good. I'm still happy with what I got. If I had my 3rd contract, for sure, I would have been trailing it. But not trading 3 contracts until markets seem more comfortable with me, less volatile. Yeah, man, it could have reversed just the same way. You never know. We've seen it happen at those key levels multiple times. It breaks through right below just a little bit and then pulls right back up. Super common. But so the play today was mainly just based on catching that reversal and seeing that trend shift, because it pushed up so fast this morning, and I saw the delta pushing down while the price was pushing up. So a little bit of divergence there as well. I was just waiting for some confirmation. I got it and got in. Okay, so another example today, right? Look at the dome at 34.28. right here, right? 1,500 orders. That's a lot. Let's see if they're actually real orders or people just messing around. People will try to do that and play with the institutional algorithms that trade the dome. So pushing down. Nice. Let's see what we do at that key level. I'm super interested to see what happens. We all have hard weeks, man. Don't worry, just gotta stick through it. I'm gonna go check up on some of my option spreads real quick. Well, this does whatever it wants. But yeah, guys, if you guys could leave a little like, and if you're new, please do subscribe. Really appreciate that. Wait, did Matt go? Did he go long by any chance? So, Jim, the reason why I took my exit right at here, right around that 34, 36-ish area, we were seeing some heavy selling pressure. So I just moved my stop, like my take profit down, because originally my take profit was at 34, 39, right at that level. But then I saw more pressure coming in and I wanted to catch it a little bit more. And I just moved it down to a position where we were, bouncing back and forth and had a little bit of choppiness in that morning, right? In that pre-market session, we can see right on the charts right here. I was like, that's a good area for me to take it out. This price should come right back there and break below that little volume nodes as well. So it's like multiple different factors. When I saw, okay, this piling up, prices jumping back and forth here, so we might see some support happening there because we did push up from there. So that's one of the reasons why I took it out right there. I hope that made sense, Jim. Let me know. Want to make sure that you do understand that. Oh, you guys are talking about his yesterday's performance and today's. Okay, that's why I was like confused. Like I thought he made his money again. So those orders disappeared. The seller's order. There's like 1,200 right there. They disappeared pretty quick, and I don't think that was the buyer stepping in. I think the person that was the big dog was just canceling their orders. So they know something. This key level. Let's see what happens. Are we gonna go for a fourth bounce? Let me just check out his channel real quick. I need to see what's happening. No, he's still up for the day around like 442. So I don't. Oh, he's in a position right now that's going against him. Interesting. I mean, you guys can let me know what happens. I'm gonna go back to my charts. Nice job, Dragon. I'm glad you're getting some moves today. It is like bottoming out at the moment. It is hitting that key level. Getting very close to that key level, so okay, so my Apple options are good. Thing. Yeah, we're good. It's okay, man. If you took your profit, just be happy with it. Yeah. It really got close to that level, though. Delta's starting to push up just a little bit. What we might actually end up seeing is, since in the overnight as well, since we just jumped around this area between 34.39 and 34.22 and 23, right? So we might see a little bit. I don't think we will have a V-shaped recovery at the moment. That's highly unlikely, but hey, you never know. But ideally, if the market wants to remain normal, then it should probably be coming back up to our key level, and then potentially finding some sellers again to push it down. That way they can just trap the buyers in, right? I see normal candles. Let me see. Still, it's still so. This is just like a little bit. We'll see. If this candle can break above like 34, 36, that's when I might consider like, okay, you know, this might actually end up having the buying pressure to go long. Key level is at 34.42, a red line that sellers would come back in. So this line right here is just a key level for 34.39. We could see some sellers come back in, yes, because key levels, that's where price tends to bounce back and forth. But one thing you have to remember about key levels is that once it's been tested multiple times, they get weaker every single time. That's why I always say the first test is always the best test. But They just get weaker every time because like price breaks through it, price breaks above it, gets weaker, but it still has the potential for sellers to step in. It doesn't mean that, hey, I see the key level, I should just get in right there, right? That's never the case. We use it as an area where we look for a potential reversal to happen or see where the sellers are piling up. There's never no specific price where it's like, hey, like 3,000, that's where we got a short, right? Always a price range. I mean, this overnight ranged, so I really wouldn't be surprised if we ranged back and forth, but this type of formation, especially off of this, we could easily hit that, right? 34, 39 again before we see anything happen. We are still holding a, below that 200 EMA. Tick charts are pretty positive at the moment. That's just because of this massive candle. So definitely watch out. Because in my opinion, this could honestly, okay, everything can go two ways, right? The two ways that this can go right now is one, we get a crazy amount of buyers stepping in, we hold strong, we just pump right up, right? That's one way. But ideally, in this situation, I think we're still going to try to push down because there's not going to be that many sellers coming in, not just giving up, right? So this could honestly just be a minor pullback and just trap in all the bulls and get them and then push it right back down. You have to be prepared for the market to go either direction and then catch the move, right? Like I've gone away from just saying, oh, it's just gonna be short today. Oh, this is just gonna go long today. No, because it can go either direction at any point. So we just gotta be prepared for both. That's why I always say both out loud. One, so you guys can hear. Two, because that tells me as well as like, hey, two things can happen. Just wait for one of them to confirm. He made it back to profit and he's out. Okay, that's good for him. I'm glad he didn't get hit by that extreme drawdown. What do you think about the 3440-ish area is a key level on volume profile? It put in the valley. 3440 is an area where I personally would not enter in any of my trades just because one, it's between the key level and that 200 EMA, and we see price struggle a lot between there. So once it breaks out of that, that's when I would consider a trade. That's for sure. He's impatient with his winners and patient with his losers. I think it should be the other way around, right? Gotta accept that your winning percentage is lower. Poor risk management. But green is green. Yeah, green is green. That is true. But that is one thing that new traders do need to understand, that there is no such thing as being 100% right in the markets. It's literally impossible. The only time you could say, oh, you have a 100% chance of winning is you only trade once in your life and you won that one time. That's it. Other than that, you're an actual trader, you're never winning 100% of the time. It all comes down to your risk management. You can even have, dude, like I've seen people that have like a very bad win rate, but their risk management is so good that when they win, it wipes out everything that they lost and they get so much more. But that type of trading, I don't like it just because it means I'm going to be taking more losses over time, and then I'm trying to just win big, right? Trading isn't about winning big, it's about winning consistently. How did you develop your edge? A lot of practice, a lot of pain, a lot of money being lost, and just staying consistent and being persistent about everything, man. I just stuck it through. I really just want to make sure everything works, and honestly, just failing and keeping track of how you're failing and what you're doing, it will honestly identify an edge for yourself. There's thousands of ways that you can trade, but it all comes with practice. I've tested so many things out, spent so much time trying to figure everything out. It's like, and putting in that time finally started paying off. You had a micro at 34.26 and only went for 2 points, and now G twice today. Dragon, don't be upset about it, man. When we don't get that stuff, because you have to think about this, right? It could have easily just reversed and pushed down, right? So you took it according to your plan and you profited, and that's all that matters. So T Flynn, since you started in March, you started right when COVID started happening, so you haven't really seen the slow, consistent markets yet. So just give it some time, man. Like you still haven't reached like a year in your trading experience yet, so there's still a lot more to learn. Trust me about that part. Like when I first started trading, I thought I knew everything just because like, oh, this is simple, right? I learned like the reading the charts, I was doing this, and I was like, started putting real money in it, and that's what told me it's like, yo, get your shit together and start learning even more. So every loss that I took, I made sure I made a note of it. If it was the unrealized P&L, oh man, that would be awesome, right? There are 5 types of traders: large loss, small loss, break even, small win, big win. Just avoid the large loss and practice delivery, and your winner will take care of itself. Yeah, man. Jeff said it right. Those are the 5 types. I agree with that. Drag and find yourself exit indicator. It tells you that you're actually reversing. Yeah. What is your exit indicator, Chuck? If it said like it would take you out right at the bottom, that's pretty interesting. I'd love to see what that's about. Fisher transform? Is that what it's called on TradingView? Fisher transform. Huh, never even heard of that. That's interesting. Kind of looks like the stochastic. Let me put the stochastic up as well. For 5 minutes, look at built one. Get built in much better than stochastic. Okay. I don't understand what you mean by look at built. Oh, the built-in one. Oh, my bad, my bad. I got it, I got it. Let's take a look right here. This is the stochastic. This is the Fisher transform, the one with the lines here. That's interesting. Okay. Nice and smooth. Pretty dope. Kind of crossing at the same point though. It's a bit more smoothed out, that's for sure. When it flips over, I'm out of short. When it flips over, I'm bearish. On my long, I'm out. Okay. That's simple enough, yeah. Yeah, I'll check it out. I haven't really used a stochastic or I've never even heard of the Fisher one until now. So I'll definitely check it out. I love learning from you guys too, man. Like that's like one of the best parts about doing this every day, and I love showing up every morning just because like I get to talk to you guys and learn something new every single day. Either I teach you something or you teach me something. Like I love it. I know there's a lot of people on the side just watching and reading too that get a lot of useful stuff out of this. So super happy. This is interesting. I have to read up what these lines mean and everything. I'll do like the fundamental reading for it as well. Let's see how the dome's doing. Since Mandich did ask about that 3440, let's see how that performs right now, right? And I know Jim was asking, like, is that where seller's going to step in? Ooh, the heck is calling? We can see some sellers stepping in for sure. 33.40 has some sellers piling up. 34.3875 has some sellers piling up. And 34 or 38.75 is our key level, and that's where sellers were piling up. They're getting taken out slowly. So we'll see how well sellers can hold up. In my back testing, did you ever test all the trades if you never moved your stop, took profit at each level, or stopped? So it depends on how you're positioning your break even, right? If you're just because you're opening yourself up to more risk, because there are going to be times when everything reverses, right? So to avoid that, you're gonna be moving it to break even, but you're waiting for it to hit a key level on like to take profit, right? So that's why you're better off. But I haven't done back testing for where it says like, oh, I just let it be, right? Because then you're opening yourself up to more risk, and that's not what I'm about. And I built the plan out, and I specifically made that Google Doc as well that's in the Discord. It tells you exactly how I trade the algo. So it's like your risk is managed. When you move to your break even, it's a different story because it depends on what your type of trading. If you're trying to catch like nice momentum moves, moving into break even makes sense. But when you're trying to scalp and you move to break even, that's when you make less and you might just be taken out. Because when you're scalping, price is still moving, jumping back and forth. But when you're trying to go for the algo moves where it's like giving you a good amount of points, then moving into your break even after it hits that take profit level 1, you're reducing your risk completely and you're going to wait out for the big move. So you actually end up making more by waiting it out patiently because you're getting in on the right moves. Yeah, when you're scalping and you move to break even, most times you will end up getting hit and it'll take you out, so you end up making less. So when I did the back testing and all those results, that's based on me moving my stop down every single time. And one of the things I've learned from when I swing trade, moving it to break even is super important. Just because it's like I understand that there's some moments where it touches break even and then goes in the right direction. That is true, but then it's all about risk management at the end of the day, where that will happen sometimes, but we have to be okay with that and not get emotional or get pissed off by that, because that's just the way the market works. Sometimes it will take you out, and that's just the way things work out. But me not moving it to break even is going to provide me with more losses and heavier losses, so it's like it's not worth it as well. Because I'm not here to lose money, I'm here to make money, and to do that I have to learn about capital management and risk management and all of that. So it's like moving into break even just makes sense. Because there's gonna be like months where you're just like killing every single trade, and there's gonna be other months where it's like, oh man, this is slow, I have to wait it out. And that's like the thing with the markets, it's like it's never the same. So you just gotta be prepared and be patient. That's why everyone does, like traders, like, dude, you have to have patience. He's like, I could have easily just been impatient here, right? When I took this trade and just took everything out right there. Yeah, I would have got like 400 bucks, but I was like, okay, I was like, I just got to, if I wait, I get paid more. I just have to let it run, right? And that's exactly what I did here. But having it at break even and everything takes your emotions out of it because you're not losing anything. Yeah, man, I'm with you, Chuck. I test probabilities, dude. I'm a man of numbers. Like, I went to school for finance, got a degree in that because it's all about numbers. Loved it. But, it's like, probably because numbers don't lie at the end of the day. Like, that's why I trust them. That's why I like everything, making sure probability is in my favor. And that's the way I trade. For some people, that's not the way. But for me, that is the way, and that's what's worked for me. Yeah, man, Chuck, that is the proper way, mentality, right? Cutting your losses short and making sure you just let your winners run. Too many times we take our winners out too fast, and that's what caused the issue. Because like yesterday was a prime example, right? Yesterday, I think yesterday or the day before, but trade hit take profit level 1, but then reversed completely. But we took it out at break even. If we let that stay in place, we're like, oh, we'll just wait it out till a complete stop loss. Guess what? We would have paid for it. It would have taken us out. Would have been down a good amount. So it wasn't worth it. But instead, we got out at break even. My entry yesterday was like, I couldn't get it right on the tick. So I had to give up a point, but that was okay. But you still manage your risk to the point. It's like, hey, I'm only giving up 1 point at this point, but I'm still following the system and trying to take those profits. Because if I just wait and let my profits run, then instead of making that 400 or going just for that 400, you'd make like 800, 1200 or whatever it is, right? And those letting your winners run and making sure you get those big moves will help you in the long run as well, because like when you have those days when you do lose, that covers up and that makes up for it as well. Yeah, I'm with Chuck, man. Like, I'll do the same. Like, if you want to hop in that Discord and chat with us, you can hit us up in the random chat. We can all talk, help you build a strategy, or if you have a strategy in place that you just want us to analyze and see how it's working, we're more than happy to help. Yeah, Chuck, I do agree. Like, there are a lot of moments where it's just like simple things. You're like, oh, wow, I should have just done that, and you're like, it just makes your whole strategy better. But to get to that point, it takes some failure, a lot of practice, and everything, right? Yeah, seems like we're bouncing off of that E level and that 200 EMA. Pretty nice. Let's see if we can come right back down. Yep. Just pushed right there. All right, let's see. I know I said I was gonna stay until 11:30, but now I'm here till 12. But This is just interesting to see. I really just want to see what happens at this level. Like, yeah, man, it's key to just be patient and just wait for our setups to come. Like, there's been times where I missed it and it was like a $1,500 move, and I was like, seriously? Like, but like okay, I just have to wait for the next one, and the next one's like only like $200 or $300, but that's the price you pay for not being in the desk or not paying attention at that moment, and that's just part of life. And I think another big thing is don't focus on making money just because somebody else you're watching made money or your friend made money or anybody else. Focus on your account and just focus simply on that. Because somebody else making money, because there's been a lot of new traders that they said like, oh, I see him getting money, making money, and they just try to jump in with them without understanding anything, and then they get burned. So it's like that's something you just need to get out of, like get out of that habit. Like, other people, like, income does not matter, because at the end of the day you have to focus on your income. You said the pullback to EMA and then continue down. Yeah, I remember you were asking about the 200 EMA. So this good. It bounced off the 200 EMA perfectly. This, we saw the selling pressure pop in, and let's see how far it goes down. Okay. So now is some. I think we'll start getting a bit more rangy. Remember, we stayed in this range again. But what's interesting is notice how the pivot lows are slowly getting higher and higher every time. Mostly following MACD crossovers with price action entry and ATR for stops and targets. Okay. Sam, how do I feel about the latest alert on the ES? It's an alert that breaks out rules, man. It's the candle is bigger than 10 points, so we don't get into it. I don't care if it wants to take a dump, it can. The algo is alerting us for a nice sell setup, but we have too much support happening here that it doesn't even make sense to get in that one. Because remember, one of the rules was if the candle size is above 10 points, we don't get in, right? And I'll show you that on the screen right now. I'm happy you're here for me to show you. Let me pull that up right now. So if we measure it out, right, you can always hit the little ruler on the side. Start at the top. It's like 11.5 points. Breaks our rule, number one, right? We only like to trade alerts within that, between 10 candles. And what am I saying? Not higher than like 10 points, right? Because once we cross 10 points, we start risking a lot more. I understand that this can dump. I understand that there's a lot of profit involved. Yes, but you have to be comfortable enough to risk that much as well. And this candle itself, pretty high wick. I like having small wicks, not high wicks. You have a friend MACD strategy on NQ and kills it. Don't know how he does it well, but hey, that's awesome. But yeah, it's super important. That's why I draw out these key levels, right? With trading, that your levels need to be in place just so you know where price is trying to head towards or where it'll find support. And this is a very big area because it's been tested in the 1 hour, it's been tested in the 5 minutes multiple times. Like, so it's definitely some place to be very careful about. So this is not a place where I would have taken the algo alert to begin with. And since I'm already up, I wouldn't take it. I don't know how he uses the MACD strategy on the NQs. Like, if he's trading short term, I personally don't like the MACD for any short term trading. It's very nice on like the 1-day charts and like the hourly charts for sure, but once you drop into the lower time frames and you're trying to scalp or go for small moves, quick moves, that's when it starts having more inconsistencies, and that's one of the things I don't like. But 53% is not bad. I mean, if he's doing 2 to 1 and getting 53%, he's good. And one of the things to note is that whenever we drop like 10 points or more in one candle, we end up seeing buyers step in for a little while. So that's something to pay attention to. That's another reason like that alert isn't the best, but hey, it could happen. It is alerting for sell, so it's like maybe it is finding some extra selling pressure going on, but we'll find out what happens. But me personally, I would have just sat on the side. Yeah, definitely do some more back testing to find out the real win rate. And make sure when you're back testing, you don't just select the ones that worked out. Because I realize some people do that. I'm not saying you are doing that. I'm just saying that some people, for some reason, when they're back testing, they just pick the ones that they see. Oh, that worked out. Okay, I'll put that in my records. And then they skip over the one that didn't work. And I'm like, dude, that's not how this works. Ah, you jump around too much. There you go. I think you just answered your own. You got your own answer right there. See, just talking about it makes you realize. That's why I say journaling matters. So yeah, so one of the things is you have to stay consistent with this trading strategy you're using and test it out completely, or else you'll never know how much potential you actually have to be profitable. Yeah, Dragon. Always note those, right? There's certain candle formations or certain prices where price is reversing, or you'll see that, oh, it's like every time this touches like the 5 EMA or whatever you're using, right? Like that's when your price alert doesn't work too well, or like your alert's not working well. So that's something definitely to pay attention to. And right now, just like I said, more than 10-point drop, and price is starting to reverse a little bit. So this, regardless of the alert, this is something you wouldn't have gotten into. But this is a very dangerous area because it's been ranging back and forth. So be very careful if you guys get in on something here. Yeah, if he built out a strategy for you and then you see the strategy's results, then you have to, and it's positive, then Think it through. You have to understand, like, right now, the market that we're in is kind of weird, and all the data you're looking at is between the past, like, 20, 30, 40 years, where it's, like, been nice trending, right? Ever since, like, 2008, 2009, you look at the daily charts on the SPY, you'll see boom, 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 right? Now, let me see if I can pull it up right now. Let's see. Let's just look up SPY. Let's just take a simple look at SPY, right? This has been the daily charts, and let's see how we've been doing since the big crash happened 08. Everything you're seeing, those are just the algo alerts. But let's start from 08, right? Let's see what's been happening for if you started trading anytime after 2010 between 2020, you'll have seen that nice market which has been uptrending, right? July 9th, pushing up, smooth, smooth, smooth every single time. And when I'm investing on daily charts, I'm only going long. But we notice, like, hey, like, pushing up, pushing up, pushing up, pushing up continuously. We have those days where it's like, okay, like 1 or 2 months. Again, where was this? September, October. What are we doing right now? Same thing. September, October here. Price started fluctuating. September's always been that month where it's like funky. This year, considering that there's elections, definitely made a big impact. Now we're targeted. I mean, if you went on the daily charts on SPY for this one, obviously you should have taken it out at level 2, or your stop loss should have been at level 1, because we don't know where this can go at the moment. I mean, looking at the volume is definitely important, and understanding where buyers and sellers are definitely trying to push through. That is definitely something to look into. More sellers piling up around 34.30 and 34.31. So yeah, like we said before, the sellers did step in right at that key level. Now we're trying to see. Got the algo alert on this candle right here. Obviously, we'd only enter at the break, and it didn't break in the next 2 candles. It lost its basic momentum, which isn't good. It has a potential to drop because, again, this will be the 4th test when it comes down and hits it. But the only thing that it has going for it right now is, like I was saying before, each pivot low is getting higher and higher. So that is very interesting. So buyers still want to stay in control and trying to push it up as much as they can. Yeah, if your free time's consumed by trading, dude, then you'll be fine. It's all trial and error. I mean, I'll come back after lunch and I'll just see what's happening here. But I think today, guys, I'm gonna hop off, go eat some lunch. Getting super hungry now. Hit that point. Oh man. But yeah, if you guys are still trading, I wish you guys the best, bringing those profits, and I'll be back tomorrow. We can chat then. Until then, peace out.